complete abundance of God. Abundance has no other meaning but at its ultimate, it is all that is God, which is everything. Many times there is believed to be an opposite of abundance, which would be scarcity. And everyone in the world, in some way, in many ways, scarcity is the God of reality within the world. It truly isn't reality, it isn't a God. It is nothing because it doesn't truly exist. Abundance has no opposite. It is what is as love, as everything that is real is unlimited, completely unlimited. So the mind cannot conceive of the abundance. And so it must be accepted and invited on faith that you might have an inkling here or there of abundance, and you have moments of recognition of the generosity of the universe, but in its full capacity, give yourself completely to the truth of abundance, and it will be what you are, not something that you have. Love is abundance. Love itself is the ultimate abundance. It's what everything of truth is, the abundance of love. And this is why in the journey of love, it becomes such a part of the journey to give wholeheartedly, to not hold anything back, because even in not holding back, for the most part, it's just a little piece of the abundance of the truth of love. So you can always, when you hear that voice that says, there's more for you to allow to run through you. There's more of all that love is for you to extend. And then you can look within and ask to see if there is a holding back or belief in limitation that says, that's enough, I've given enough love. But it's never enough because it's so abundant. You'll never reach the bottom of it. You'll never be able to give too much. It's not possible. So when there is a moment that you touch into even the idea of abundance, give your mind, give your heart to the spirit of love and let it just take you to the depths of the abundant love. And the spirit of love will take you, but never take you more than you're able to take in. just trusting. Keep asking deeper, deeper. I'm willing, I'm willing, I'm willing. Show me the deeper truth. Show me the deeper love. Let me embrace the trust of abundance in the everyday, in every way. And love will lead you. In this moment, in that abundance, affirming that there is only love. Nothing else is real. Nothing else is true. As you embrace that truth, even the words that wanted to come into your mind may stop because they're incoherent and unconnected to the truth of abundant love. So there's a recognition, or can be a recognition, that whatever it was that wanted to be said or wanted to be thought, was it part of abundance? Was it generosity, faith that is abundant? Was it blessings, abundant open-heartedness, open-mindedness? Just inviting everything that is abundant to be your lead, your teacher, your friend, your healer, everything of love, abundant. We open to the abundance of love in this hymn. Allowing it to open our minds and hearts and be filled with divine inspiration. The yes to love. Oh, teach me to open my heart to those who come here to be healed. Oh, teach me to open my heart to this love, to heal all this pain of this world. We have strayed from the love of our Father and wandered in pain since our birth. It was Jesus who came here to save us all and release all the pain here on earth. Oh, my mother, the queen of the sea, it's your love that I feel inside me. Teach me to love from the depth of my heart, to heal all the pain that I see. My Father is here with his love. He knows how to care for us all. He loves everyone who has come to this call, all those who have answered this call. He knows how to care for us all. The spirit of love always brings caring love if it's invited. Invite it with all your heart. Invite it and let it pour. And it will pour if you allow it to pour. Only for your love, divine Mother. Only for your love and for your charity of bringing the abundance of healing to the heart and the mind. Oh, my divine Mother, only for your love, You are here, and I give you this healing into your heart and hand. Show me the way. Heal what is necessary in this moment. The heart is willing, the mind is willing to be free, to be healed, to be loved. Apenas por vosso amor, apenas por caridade, a vós te damos louvor, ó Virgem da Castidade. Apenas por vosso amor, atendo no seu chamado, ajuda nosso cessar a curar esses necessitados. Heal what is necessary. Transform what is necessary. Those words, heal what is necessary, transform what is necessary, is giving yourself to the power of healing. Heal what is necessary is folding up your knowing and recognizing that the divine of healing is totally aware of what healing is necessary for you. To be in that open yes, heal what is necessary, is trusting in the power of love itself, and that whatever gets healed, it was necessary. It was in the way. It was not your friend. It was part of the prison of the ego that was limiting your relationship with love. So heal what is necessary, what's in the way, and just make yourself available. Available. There's a place in healing, in transformation, that is not it is not an invitation to your personal exploration of healing. Many times the healing is necessary to be without your awareness of what it is that you're healing or what is being healed, because that's as much a part of the healing as what the healing is for. To trust that you're in the hands of God, to trust that whatever is being called to be healed and is moving and transforming within you is in God's hands. And you can rest in that trust that it's all in perfect harmony, in perfect movement within your journey of healing. The wisdom of the universe of healing light is always accurate. It's always for your healing and coming home. It never makes a mistake. This may be the greatest acceptance. Love, the power of God, never makes a mistake. When you are blessed with transformation and you feel like you're coming apart at the seams, celebrate. Celebrate that you're coming apart at the seams, because the power of God is in charge. The power of God is transforming everything for you if you are willing. What is not helpful is wanting to be given information about the healing or the transformation because you want to approve or disapprove, because you want to be aware of something so that you don't get scared. But all of the non-awareness of what is occurring can be part of the healing and is very specifically purposeful. It allows you to go into deeper faith. It allows you to truly let go in a way that you've never let go before. And it is purposely offered to you. Heal what is necessary only for your love. I heard God laughing. If you hear God laughing, enjoy it. Accept it. God laughing is laughing at the upside downness, but with the, of course, that it doesn't exist at all. So laugh with God at the illusion that has been plaguing you for lifetimes, and let the power of love melt it away. And then cast all your votes for dancing. I know the voice of depression, pain, and suffering still calls to you. I know those habits can then ruin your life and still send their invitations for more. But you are with the friend now. You are with God. You have remembered enough to make that choice. And now you look stronger in your willingness to accept love's transformation. And you can stay that way and even bloom in the state of love. Keep squeezing drops of the sun from your prayers and work and music, and from your companion's beautiful laughter. Squeeze the drops of the sun from all the longing in your heart. Keep squeezing drops of the sun from the sacred hands and glance of your beloved. Look toward every beloved as the sacred one that has come to teach you the truth of love. And my dear, from the most insignificant movements of your Holy Spirit, learn to recognize the counterfeit coins that may buy you just a moment of pleasure within the day, but then drag you for days like a broken man behind a farting camel. But you are with the friend now. Learn what actions of yours delight him. What actions of yours bring freedom and love. Learn to identify those actions, those thoughts, so that you can be in alignment with love. Whenever you say God's name, my ears wish my head was missing so they could finally kiss each other and applaud all your nourishing wisdom. Oh, keep squeezing drops of the sun from your prayers and work and music, and from your companion's beautiful laughter, and from the most insignificant movements of your own Holy Spirit. Now, sweet one, be wise and cast all your votes for dancing. Remember the joy of love that you are. I know that the voice of depression, of pain and suffering still calls to you. Do you know that it still calls to you? And have you identified that voice, that relationship, so that you can refuse its seduction? Because that's what is occurring when you still hear the voice of depression, pain, and suffering. I know those habits that can ruin your life still send their invitations. Habits. The habits aren't as easy to recognize as depression, pain, suffering. The habits wear different costumes so that they look normal within the world. But if they are a habit, they're there to make sure that you don't remember the joy, the peace, the harmony. The habits have no other intention but to ruin your life if they get the chance, to pull you down into old trances that say, oh, I have to protect this, I have to know this, I have to do this. And everything in your whole system of the ego revs up or revs down, whichever is the habit. But find the strength that you have been developing by surrendering into the hands of God. That becomes your strength. That becomes the strength of God within you. Just as if you went to the gym and worked out for a year and you find strength that you didn't know that you had. This is the strength of the Spirit, the strength of truth. Your center of your true life is getting stronger because you choose it more and more. What is possible to have happen, which is such a blessing, is when you are stronger than you were before in the truth of love, in the truth of your divine alignment, of allowing God to lead you. When you recognize that strength, you call on it from within. You want the strength of God to join with your strength because it is one will. And you want to learn how to be in the world and not of it, and learn to align with the divine self and allow God to lead. In that, you will keep squeezing drops of the sun from your prayer, your work, and music. Squeezing drops of the sun is saying that's where your strength is. You want to use everything, and you want to stay in prayer and in communication with the divine, no matter what is going on in your world of form. Nothing changes from the world of form except the belief that it changes. From your prayer and work and music. So these are three elements: prayer and work and music. And do you treat them differently, or do you recognize that they are all the same offering? They come in different forms, but all of it is for one purpose: for you to remember the strength and the truth of your divine self, so that you can bring that strength and that love, that truth into manifestation for everyone that you meet, and for your own inner peace, your own inner strength. Keep squeezing drops of sun. Learn to recognize the counterfeit coins that may buy you just a moment of pleasure and then drag on for days. Recognizing the counterfeit coins is so essential because you've carried them with you for lifetimes. And they come in the form of wantings, trying to prove worth, greed, envy. They're counterfeit coins that are by their nature untrue and unreal. But because they're in the shape of coins, they're shiny, they become shiny objects that you put your faith into instead of remembering that God is leading you. Don't believe those counterfeit coins because they belong to the world of separation. They belong to your past. Leave the coins behind so that those little bits of pleasure that you thought you got from it, that satisfaction, everybody knows that little bit of satisfaction that you get in some kind of relationships within the world that says, I'm accomplishing something, I'm doing good, I'm even saving something in the world. But no, just come back to the eternal joy that you are, that only comes from offering love, not trying to prove something from within. I'm here only to be truly helpful is such a powerful intention. I'm here on this earth plane. I'm here incarnated only for one purpose, to be truly helpful. Am I in this moment helping to remember the truth of love from within and for all beings that are here in this moment? Am I being truly helpful? Or am I back in a trance of getting and proving and winning and controlling? Surrender it all into the hands of God. This prayer, this psalm, blessed are the man, blessed is the beloved who has grown beyond their greed, blessed, and have put an end to their hatred and no longer nourish illusions. But they delight in the way things are and keep their hearts open day and night. They are like trees planted near flowing rivers, which bear fruit when they are ready. Their leaves will not fall or wither. Everything they do is for love. Blessed are the beloveds who have grown beyond their greed. Greed, when I used the word abundant and explored it, scarcity and greed are fine companions to each other. They feed off each other because to have greed, you must believe in scarcity. And you must be in battle within, trying to hide the greed under a normal expression. But greed has within it, as all elements that are not of love do, it's built on fear completely. Fear runs greed. in all of its elements. But if we think of greed as just having to do with food or some coveted item that sparks the greed, we wouldn't be being honest about where greed is. Greed says, I am not enough, and I have not enough, and I need so much. Greed has a permission from the ego to take over, to be in charge, and to see through greed, which is the same thing as seeing through self-indulgence. When someone you believe has a success that you haven't had, or something material that you haven't had, or is liked and you don't believe that you are, all of those elements of scarcity, greed can be vicious. Not just vicious in an outward way of attacking, but it is an inner viciousness that gnaws within, in the belief of not having enough, or that somebody else has and you don't have it. And it isn't limited in any way to the material, and it's really much more about the attributes that you believe you don't have and someone else has. And then it burns because you want something to fill that. What usually tries to fill that place is bitterness, resentment, and self-protection. And the self-protection is often through trying to control, because it has the similar energy as greed. So control can seem like it's getting you to a better place because you have more control, and more is what it's all about. But nothing of greed will bring you to peace. Nothing of greed will bring you to put an end to hatred or no longer nourish illusions. The other part of greed that is vicious is that it's usually tried to be kept as a secret. So, and this is a universal accepting a way of being from the ego. So there's a pleasant outside, and inside there is churning. And greed and envy and resentment all start building. Greed is an element that has to be seen for what it is, because its only purpose is to cause pain and to make sure that you doubt the truth of God and the truth of love. You are everything and you are nothing at the same time, in the sense of identity. But you are everything that is true. You are love. You are the power of love. You are the joy, the harmony. You have everything. You cannot be diminished. The only way that you can be diminished in your mind is by your own mind. And that state of being diminished is false to begin with. It's a lie. So you're buying this false investment. And the most important part of recognizing greed is the willingness to do so. And this may be one of the most resistant elements of healing. To not want to see the greed because first it supplies falsely, but it gives you the idea that it's supplying a need. And there is the secretness of it that is filled with shame and guilt because it has to be against somebody else. It has to be about something else because you believe that something else has something that should be yours. Who have grown beyond their greed. How do you grow beyond your greed? It's the willingness to look at the identity of its importance and its validity within your past and how you use it now. This is not about a witch hunt. This is not about self-attack. This is about the willingness to grow beyond a painful agreement of separation. Is it difficult to be able to say, wow, look at the greed that I am believing in, that I want this so much and I want to win this and I want to have this and be acknowledged and feel that I'm in control and I'm greedy for it all. Wow, that's not of God? Well, then I don't want it. I don't want it because if it's not of God, I'm not willing to dance with it anymore. I'm willing for it to pass away. I don't want to be possessive anymore in order to try to win something. I don't want to try to squeeze every drop out of something in order to have enough or to think I got enough out of it. I'm ready to be free of greed. Allow those words to be in your heart and let yourself be free, because it is a freedom that comes when greed disappears. It's a freedom where you can rest in the awareness, in the faith that you have everything. You have the power of God within you. And God will never leave you without what is most helpful for you. Trusting in God instead of trusting in the past is essential for peace. Let it come to you in its fullness. Delight in the way things are without seeing anything as good or bad or more or less, liking or disliking anything, but accepting and delight in it. Delight in each step of every lesson because it is teaching you so much about truth and about love. Every situation, turn it over and let it be the teacher. Through the Holy Spirit will take whatever form is showing up, and where before you might have freaked out, been greedy, thought you knew something, got caught in it in whatever way, surrendering it all and affirming that only love is what you want and what you are. Your leaves will never fall or wither. Everything will always be in the truth of love. Blessed are the beloveds who have grown beyond their greed and put an end to their hatred and no longer nourish illusions. But if you don't ask the question, do I nourish illusions? And truly want to see what's in your way, because nourishing illusions is painful. It's self-destructive. And it's not true. It has no purpose. Be so thankful that it has no purpose, none at all. So in every moment, to realize and accept that greed cannot be your friend, and that the grievances that come up during the day, you no longer are willing to dance with. To hold a grievance is to let the ego rule your mind. Don't allow the world to be your enemy. It will just cause you pain and suffering that is unnecessary and untrue. Surrender every moment into the hands of the Holy Spirit. When you give a situation over to the Holy Spirit, you're saying, thy will be done, and it is my will as well. And let's say it's just a day that looks ordinary. Oh, I don't need to surrender that. I know how to do that ordinary day. I do that myself. No, there are no ordinary days that are different that you don't surrender into the hands of God. Because the secret is that if you're not surrendering, the entire delusional world outside can go in any direction that your insane mind wants it to go. When you surrender the day and all of the situations into the hands of the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the universe can then use the form to teach you and to bless you in awareness. But it cannot do that unless you surrender the day, the form of the day, the activity, so that it can be new for you. What is the satisfaction of having a familiar day that you can recognize? Oh yeah, okay, this day was just like exactly like my perfect self-controlled day. I was in charge. And it came out exactly like all the other days. So I must have done something right, because it's now the day that I thought I knew. Except it was exactly like every day of the past. It was exactly like every day of delusion of thinking that there was something to control in it. And all the while, what was really available was the surrender of the day, the surrender of the form of the day, and everything that you thought you knew about it, surrendering it all, and being available for the schoolroom of love, for the teachings that were able to be shown to you because you were in a surrendered state. It takes great courage. It takes a leap of faith to be willing for the day to be the schoolroom of love. To not have the ego delusional system in charge. Some beloveds think that there's a third choice, kind of like the third rail. That the third choice is you. That there's the ego way There's God's way and there's your way. But there is no your way. You are either serving the ego of illusion, or you are serving the truth of God. But there is no third way. You are never not being guided. It's whether you want to be guided by the past, by the illusion, or by the truth of love. It doesn't seem like it would be much of a question, of a choice. One represents pain, suffering in the past, which most are determined to be free of. I don't want to do anything like the past again, but except you're picking the past again and again if you allow the ego to be the guide. But when you choose the truth of love and you truly put every simple situation into the hands of God, you're saying, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to be transformed and shown a new way. The only thing that will stand in your way is the addiction, the heroin addiction, so to speak, of the knower, the one that wants to be in control. That addiction doesn't want any learning. It wants familiar. And it doesn't want any learning because learning says, I don't know, rather than lead me, show me, take me, teach me. Oh, teach me to open my heart. Teach me everything. Teach me a new way. Teach me how to speak, how to think, how to navigate. I don't know. Show me the way. I don't know how to speak, so teach me to speak. Teach me everything so that I can learn to dance, so that I can learn to follow in love and be that love and no longer be greedy, fearful, and believing that there is something to control. Thank God, a different life. Thank God, the transformation into love. Thank God. Thank God you weren't right about what you thought you knew about anything. Thank God. You can learn to dance and accept the way of love. You are with the beloved now and can be so much stronger than the past. Keep squeezing drops of the sun from your prayers and work and music. Open to this divine devotion of abundance. You are everything, you have everything. And the Spirit of love will teach you everything. Be willing to learn.